are the 5 best books for beginners learning constellational astrology, all 13 signs? Well, if I had known about these books, and frankly, if one of them had been published at the time, I probably would have snagged it right away. But I'm here to help you learn what is the best way to get started. Hi, I'm Beth, and I am a true sidereal astrologist. That's right, I work with the stars in the sky as constellations, not as a seasonal sign system. So in this video, I am going to share the top 5 books that I would use now, and in fact that I do use now. And the last one might be a bit of a surprise for you, so kind of a wild card, that one. So if you've been looking for a book that includes the 13th sign Ophiuchus, I got 2 of them. And if you've been looking for something that could help you understand the language of astrology and how everything fits together, just a nice handy reference manual, I've got that too. So let's get started here. And I am calling a comment challenge. I want you to tell me which of these books lights you up and what excites you about learning true sidereal astrology. I really want to know, and our community wants to know. So remember, pay attention, and we're going to start with the first book. We have Keywords for Astrology by Bonzoff and Habler. This is your reference manual. This is the book that was required reading when I studied with Ike Rodriguez, the sidereal astrologist. And the wonderful thing about this, it is a guide. It's not to sit down and read. There are bits and pieces that'll tell you how to use it. The most handy thing, I don't know if you could see it on the edges there, there's little tabs to tell you what's what. So it tells you the signs, the planets, ascendant, descendant, the houses. So it just has all these wonderful blocks going through here. Now, it does not talk about Ophiuchus. So this was written by tropical astrologers for tropical astrologers. So that's the one drawback it has, is it doesn't discuss Ophiuchus. But if you pay attention, you can find the hints of Ophiuchus within their understanding of Scorpio, because this is based on centuries of understanding these energies as they've affected people. That's how astrology works, and that's how we define different aspects in astrology and different traits that these different constellations have for us. But without further ado, let's get to the really good book. This is the new one that wasn't published when I first started studying. In fact, it was only published a few months ago. This is The 13th Sign by Dr. Danny. And as it says here, Ophiuchus and the astrology they don't want you to see. And there's a foreword by Athen Commenti, who came up with the True Sky app, which is brand new as of the recording of this video in October of 2025. It just launched last month, and you can find that at masteringthezodiac.com. I'll have a link to that below because I want you to have all the resources. But she goes through each and every sign, and she talks about a cycle of healing. Being an actual board certified physician, this will take you through a personal transformation, but it will also give you a better understanding of the flow and how Ophiuchus fits in and works with the planets and how it is a part of that circle of the year, of those cycles of the constellations as the sun goes through it and as all planets go through it. So I highly recommend picking that one up. It is the one that I'm going to be recommending to everyone. And, I just say go for it. All right. This is a good one. It's big, it's thick, but it is beautifully written. And if you follow Dr. Danny on YouTube, she's got a ton of information on there that, if you like her vibe and her teaching style, then you're going to love this book. I know I do. Okay. So our third book, we have Chiron, The Rainbow Bridge Between Inner and Outer Planets by Barbara Hand Clow. This has become the standard. Now, Chiron is a asteroid, but because he is a wounded healer, he aligns beautifully with Ophiuchus. So we're going to switch this little guy out for Chiron. As we look at Chiron and where it fits in everything, Barbara Hand Clow really gets into this as the bridge and how you can interpret your healing journey using this this asteroid, which was discovered in 1977. Okay, Barbara Hand Clow sees this as the bridge between your personal identity and your cosmic purpose through the healing process. Really incredible stuff. Now, if you're not familiar with Barbara, she is a renowned psychic and astrologer in the tropical system. And I think she would be a good candidate to maybe give 13 sign astrology a try. What do you think? Remember, you're supposed to comment with the ones that hit you the hardest. So like I said, this is a great book. Now, before we get any further, I want to tell you about something I've created. It's not a book, but it is a place where we all can gather. Zodiac Club 13.
Every seeker begins under the same sky. The call of the stars whispering through the branches of night. You follow the light deeper into the forest of the unseen, and there a guide appears. A golden invitation. Your entry to Zodiac Club 13, a secret celestial lounge, where the night hums with magic, candles flicker, stars shimmer, and your place is waiting. Welcome to the party, where mystics, dreamers, and star lovers gather to celebrate the real sky. Inside, visionaries study the cosmos. Hands trace constellations as they truly are and weave their stories through the cards of destiny. Here wisdom flows like starlight, every spark a new awakening. You found your circle. Zodiac Club 13, the midnight lounge for seekers of the real sky, filled with 13 signs and timeless magic.
And this is hosted on the school platform, so click the link below to join. And the beauty of this platform, it's completely ad-free. You're not stuck with getting ads from Facebook or wherever your groups are, where your people hang out. School also has its own app, so you can easily connect to your True Sky tribe on the go. I'll see you there. Just click the link below. All right, and we're up to the fourth book, but remember, you want to stay all the way to the end because that fifth mystery book is pretty exciting. So this one is called Gate and Key, Sidereal 13 Sign Astrology by G. Desiree Fultz. And it says NLP, which I think is Neuro-Linguistic Programming. So it says, an introduction to sidereal 13 sign astrology for lightworkers and evolving beings. If you're just getting started with astrology, this might be a handy one for you to have. So it's not as in-depth as Dr. Danny's book, but the one thing I do want to warn you about is it does have a calendar that is different than what those of us who are following True Sidereal Astrology, which is the leading edge of modern 13 sign astrology. So this does have, so I just want to warn you, but there is, her takes on what the different signs are, and as an introductory book to astrology, it's very good. But if you want to know what the actual sidereal dates are, go ahead and download my Unlock the New Zodiac PDF, and there's a link in the description below. Go ahead and grab that because I do have a list of all the true sidereal dates there. So that's this book, and it has its pluses and minuses. I don't regret buying it because it's the first book that I found that actually talked about Ophiuchus. So my early understandings between YouTube and this. All right, and the fifth and final book, I have another one by Barbara Clow. So this is Astrology and the Rising of Kundalini, the transformative power of Saturn, Chiron, and Uranus. This is the one that I would recommend because it talks about Kundalini energy and the chakras. And the one thing that a lot of sidereal newbies will tell you is like, oh my gosh, I just started getting all these energy downloads, these insights, and it is a lot to handle. It's like you've just been initiated into your true place in the cosmos, and the cosmos is suddenly sending you messages and energies, and you have to learn how to deal with them. So this is a great way to do that, and it also addresses the things like midlife crisis. Now, I wouldn't say it was a midlife crisis that brought me to True Sidereal Astrology. I will tell you, it was a deeply personal crisis. I had been in the metaphysical community for years and had just a glancing knowledge of tropical astrology. But I knew I wanted to study deeper, and I was trying to hook up with it, but I couldn't. And then my sister, my twin sister, passed away in 2021, and it completely broke me. Identical twin, and our whole identity was Gemini, because according to tropical astrology, we were born under the sign of Gemini. Sun, Moon, and Mars. So I identified so strongly as a twin and as a Gemini, I didn't know how to move forward until I found True Sidereal Astrology. And that's when the transformation began. So between all these books, you would be all set to get going on this, starting with a reference manual to help you figure out what's what. When I wouldn't say plain English, because it's pretty packed with some really powerful keywords that will start igniting things in your soul. And Dr. Danny's more lyrical storytelling vibe in her Ophiuchus, the 13th Sign book. And then the Chiron book by Barbara Clow, which has become the classic on Chiron, from a hardcore psychic who does get download transmissions from the universe. And I so would love to chat with her at some point. And so, yeah, the second book by her, yeah, it'll really help you understand the transformation that can come through working with the energies of the universe, through the planets and the signs. And I just want you to know that I am so happy to be on this path after a year of basically studying this full time and making videos full time. And now I want you to have that same joy. So I hope you comment below with, is one of these books already a personal favorite of yours? Which one lights you up and which one are you most curious about? I really want to hear from you. And if not in here, then maybe I'll see you in Zodiac Club 13. But if you really want to know what books I got started with, well, I'm going to put that video right up here. 6 astrology books for beginners. Learn all 13 signs. So blessed be, namaste, and all that jazz. And I will see you in the next video.